Yo, 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 this is Lighthouse Mushrooms here. Today we're going to be doing some grain spawn inoculation. So this is grain spawn right here. These are oats, whole oats, mixed with a little bit of feed corn that I had just to add something to the mix. But yeah, we're going to do 3 different types of inoculations today. We're going to do one with a liquid culture, we're going to do one with agar, and then we're going to do grain to grain. So if you've been interested in learning about how to do these different types of things, definitely stay tuned, follow along. Okay, so basically right here, all we're doing is we're taking our bag of grain, we're spraying it down with 70% isopropyl alcohol, making sure that it's facing our HEPA filter. Then we're gonna cut open our dish here. That's the agar that we're gonna be using. This is blue oyster mycelium. So we'll just take our scalpel, flame sterilize that, and then we're gonna cool it down and then cut it up into little chunks. So this is just basically like a nutrient jello for the mycelium, which mycelium is the live part of mushrooms, right? So it's underground what happens, and we're putting this onto grain so that we can grow that out and then spawn that onto bulk substrate like some sort of master's mix or something like that. So you could do this whole bag with one chunk, but I have enough, so I just did the whole plate. And over here, we're just impulse sealing it, shaking it up, getting all those pieces mixed throughout the bag so we have more inoculation points. And then at the end here, we're just gonna label it with the strain and the date, anything like that. And next we'll move on to liquid cultures. So same thing here, isopropyl alcohol, clean everything off, and in between this I'm cleaning off the station and everything like that as well. You just don't need to see that. Again, open it up towards the filter so we're getting that fresh clean air filling into the bag. And here, liquid culture is honestly the easiest inoculation that you'll do. You're just going to want to mix it up, and this can be a liquid culture, it can be a spore syringe, it can be whatever, but you're just going to want to tap it on a table, hit it on your hand, mix it up good so that way you can get all of the mycelium. You can see kind of little white floaty chunks in there. It's kind of a little bit blurry, but on the next one you'll be able to see it a little bit better, I think. But yeah, so all you need to do is literally just get a little bit of the solution in here. But for me, I'm going to use about 3 to 4 cc's of this liquid culture. And then you can see we're going to just do the same thing, seal it up. We're going to do 2 bags of this one. And after this, I totally realized that putting the needle on the end of it was totally unnecessary, so you can skip that part for doing inoculations this way. But if you're going through an injection port or something like that, you don't have a flow hood, you will want to use the end of the needle to go through your injection port to our next strain here. As you can see, I have these rubber banded up just to keep the seal after I pressure cook them, because I've noticed that if I don't have that, they tend to open and open the seal, and then you have risk of contamination. So this is what works for me. But again, 70% isopropyl alcohol towards our HEPA filter. Take our syringe out, and you don't need to put the needle on unless you're going through an injection port of some sort, which some bags come with them. These ones do not. So just mix up your liquid culture in the syringe. Try to break it up as much as you can. Here you can see kind of by the 3, 4, 5, there's a little chunk of mycelium in there. So yeah, we're just going to shoot this out into the bag. A couple cc's is all you really need. Put your cap back on, and then we're just gonna make sure there's a little bit of air in there and seal it up. I like to double seal everything just in case one breaks. You don't want to just waste a bag and have it get contaminated. Shake it up to disperse the liquid culture that you just put in there. Write the strain name, write the date of inoculation, and even the type of inoculation if you want. But now we're moving to our next one, which is grain to grain. So grain to grain is definitely the way to inoculate the fastest. You're going to have the quickest growth because your mycelium is already used to the type of grain that you're using. It's already used to eating that. So when you put it into another bag, it's going to easily start consuming that. With a liquid culture or agar, it can take a little bit longer just because the mycelium has to get used to eating whatever type of grain you're putting it on now. But I would say liquid culture and agar are pretty close in how long they work. But grain to grain, all you're going to do is you're going to take an already colonized jar or bag. So like you're going to use agar, you're going to use liquid culture, and then you're going to get a colonized bag. And then from the colonized bag, you're going to put that into another bag of uncolonized grain, and so basically you're just adding a little bit in there, and it should grow very quickly. So you can see I'm just putting, you can put as much or as little as you want in there. I had a bunch, so I just put a bunch in there. I'm going to use this bag for a couple other things later. But something I didn't know that you could do is once you have that bag open, you can just reseal that again, and it should stay good for a little bit. Obviously you want to use it up as you can, but it's not a big deal, right? So again, seal it up. Make sure your creases are folded nicely. It just makes for even seal. Makes everything just a little bit easier with cutting and everything like that. So yeah, just like every other one, we're gonna mix the bag up. Make sure everything is nicely dispersed inside there so we can get an even colonization. And then after these colonize a little bit, you start seeing those white chunks. You can mix it up again and get that colonization going even faster. But yeah, that was 3 ways you can inoculate grain. Feel free to shoot some comments, some likes, some subscriptions down below. I would really appreciate it. I'll do my best to answer each and every question that's out there. So thank you. This was Lighthouse Mushrooms, 3 different ways to inoculate grain.